Hey guys, my name is Matimio, and welcome to another episode of Sunday Mailbox. This is a video series where you, the viewer, can submit your gaming or Battlefield-related questions, and then I will give my humble opinion on them. To get the formalities out of the way real quick, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below, or by sending me a Facebook and Twitter message. The first question for today is, I want to know if Battlefield Hardline's netcode is better than Battlefield 4's netcode, and what game should I get between the two? Well, netcode-wise, I would go out on a limb and say that Hardline is definitely lacking. If you've ever played the game or you've ever watched any gameplay, you'll know that kill trading happens a lot in this game. Like, it happens way too often. That could be contributed to the time to kill, and it's always going to happen in a video game that has bullet travel time. This isn't hit scan, so bullets will fly through the air, and that could be one facet of the problem, but it happens way too often, way more than in Battlefield 4. I don't think that all the CTE updates have been added into Hardline yet. I hear that is going to be happening in the near future. I could be wrong on that point, but I believe that not all of the netcode improvements have been added on in. But just looking at it right now, I would say that Battlefield 4 has a superior netcode overall. As for what game I would recommend, it's really going to come down to your personal preferences and what you're looking for in a first-person shooter. Personally, I love both games. I play both every single day. They have their strengths and weaknesses. You could argue one is better than the other depending on what type of game that you like, but I think both bring something unique to the franchise. And so if you're looking for more of that high-octane infantry combat, then go with Hardline. There is a dash of vehicular gameplay in there, but if you just want to shoot at enemies, you want to kill enemies really quickly, then pick up that title. If you've never played a Battlefield game though, and you just want to test the waters, you want to dip your toe and just to see if this is something that you would enjoy, then I would go with Battlefield 4. Not only is it going to be dirt cheap because it's been out for over a year and a half now, but there's also just an incredible amount of content. They've had the time to pump out, what 4 or 5 DLCs, which comes with new maps. There's over 100 weapons. They're now creating 5 new weapons with their upcoming Weapon Crate DLC, which will be free to everyone, which adds upon the already absurd amount of guns in the game. So yeah, if you're looking for more of your traditional modern military first-person shooter, which the Battlefield franchise has made its name on, then I would recommend picking up BF4. Honestly, I do not think that you could go wrong picking up either of the games. I'm sure down below in the comment section, many people will disagree. I'm sure I've stirred up quite the drama where one side claims that Battlefield 4 is better for these reasons, the other side claims that Hardline is better for these reasons. But at the end of the day, we're playing a first-person shooter. We're playing video games. I don't understand why the Battlefield community has to constantly clash with each other. I mean, we're playing video games. We're playing Battlefield. They're both fun titles. They both have their strengths and weaknesses. And so if this video hasn't convinced you on which one you would like to pick up, then I highly recommend that you just go watch a bunch of gameplay videos. There's plenty of them on YouTube, and make your decision on which one looks more enjoyable or which one is going to fit your playstyle. So yep, that's would be my advice in just my 2 cents. The next question comes from the Elite Sport, and it is, what do you think of the medics and engineers switching places? Medics using the PDWs and engineers using the assault rifles. What's funny about this is that I actually brought up this very question to a bunch of other Battlefield YouTubers. We were kind of sitting around a table, and some of them agreed with me, but all of the others looked at me like I was a crazy person, like that's the worst idea ever. And what's too bad about it is I think it holds some merit. Like it's definitely a very interesting discussion. I don't necessarily think that it needs to happen, but it would definitely change the way, maybe for the better, on how the game is balanced. Right now, as I'm sure all of you guys are very aware, the Assault class or medic is awesome in basically every Battlefield game that has come out in recent memory. Battlefield 3, 4, and in Hardline, everyone is running around with this kit because not only does it have the best weapons in the game, but it also has the med bag. It allows you to be self-sufficient. You don't have to rely on anyone on your team. That one gadget is incredibly powerful, and it's the main reason, one of the main reasons, why everyone plays as this class. And so for a long time now, I've advocated, I know many of you guys have advocated, that we try to mix up that dynamic a little bit and maybe not give one kit the best gadget, arguably one of the best gadgets, and the best guns as well, and one way to go about it would be to give them the PDWs and maybe the engineer the assault rifles. That way when you're playing as the medic, you really need to get in the thick of combat. Like, you really need to play up close and personal, aggressive, to actually get any use out of your weapons, but that also puts you on the front line where a medic is supposed to be able to heal and revive your teammates. And so it also makes sense thematically why the medics would be running around with these personal defense weapons. It kind of fits the class. The problem with this new system, though, and I will fully admit that there are a lot of issues here, but the biggest one is that giving the engineer the assault rifles now makes them not only the best at taking care of vehicles with their RPGs and rockets, but also the best, arguably one of the best for taking care of infantry as well. You'd give them the best guns and the best means of taking out vehicles. Maybe a little bit too powerful as well. And so I really don't know how DICE would be able to fix the issues that we have right now, but also not cause new ones, which probably would occur if we did give them the assault rifles. It does bring up some interesting questions though, and I love having these types of discussions with you guys. Another suggestion I've heard all the time is, well, why not make a 5th class as the medic, give them the PDWs, and then the assault class would be just that. Only the assault rifles and maybe like the M320 grenade launcher. That would be another way of tackling the issue. Overall though, I like your suggestion. I like the concept of giving the medics the PDWs just to reduce their effectiveness on the battlefield and not the must pick or the guaranteed class to choose for infantry-based gameplay. I really like that suggestion. I just don't know if that would cause even more issues or if it would be the right direction for Battlefield 4 or even for a future Battlefield game. Really interesting discussion though. The next question comes from Luke, and it is, do you like how Visceral implemented the boost system in Battlefield Hardline? Personally, I think that they should have kept it how it was in Battlefield 4. What are your thoughts? Well, I actually like the way that Visceral added in the boost, or at least in some cases, and then I also think that they may have pushed things a little bit too far. What I really like about their system is that it promotes people to actually play the objective. If you have a teammate or a team play boost, you're not gonna get more points by shooting people or getting kills. You're gonna get more points by laying down more med bags, by reviving your teammates, and I actually like that the boost system promotes that type of gameplay. It also promotes you just to play the objective. If you have an objective 100% boost, once again, doesn't reward you for getting any kills, it rewards you for actually playing the objective. And so I really like that system. I think that that is an improvement over Battlefield 4, but what I don't like is that you have to pick and choose each for every class. I don't know if I necessarily like that system, because while in some circumstances for some class it does make a little bit more sense, if you're playing as the professional, for example, you're probably not gonna get a whole lot of use out of the team play boost, but even still, I think that they should be universal. I'm really getting tired of constantly having to go into the boost page and finding out if I have the right one for the right kit or if it's expired or not. Like, it just seems like too much micromanaging in a first-person shooter. Maybe I'm wrong, maybe a lot of you guys will completely disagree with me, but I do like it way better than what we have in Battlefield 4, where you would just slap on an XP boost, didn't matter which one it was, and it just gave you more points for doing everything in the game. And so while, yeah, I think that there can be some improvement in Battlefield Hardline, overall, I do think that it is a better system because it promotes people to actually play the objective more instead of just going around getting as many kills as they possibly can. The next question comes from Cole, and it is, what if on Hardline you could get the weapon license for a pistol, but it could be used on any class, making it more worthwhile getting the license in the first place? Originally, I was going to agree with you. I thought, hey, if someone wants to get 1,250 kills with the M1911 pistol, yeah, sure, if they want to use it on every single one of the classes, I don't really have an issue with that. Then I remembered, wait a second, that could cause some problems because if we made this for all of the pistols, which I'm assuming, then that would have to go over to the professional class, and if someone gets 1,250 kills with a Tech 9, for example, I don't really think that they should be able to use that on the operator class. The reason why the professional has these amazing pistols is because this is one way that Visceral was trying to balance out that kit. They wanted to make sure that they had a secondary weapon that would allow them to excel in close encounter combat, still nowhere near as powerful as the primary weapons, but still flat out, in my opinion, better than a lot of the other secondary weapons in the game. And so that's the reason why it's exclusive for the professional class. As soon as we start to allow those guns to be used on all of the other kits, while I don't think it would be game breaking, I still think that Hardline would go on as it is right now, it could cause some issues, especially for the overall power of the Professional, simply because those great guns that should have been exclusive are now available for all of the other kits. And so while originally I did agree with you, once I started to think about it a little bit more, I could see where some design and balancing issues could come into play, and I think it's for this very reason why I do not think that Visceral would ever go down this path. But yeah, guys, that is about it for today's Sunday Mailbox. I hope you enjoyed. As always, if you would like to submit your own question that could be featured in an upcoming episode, you can do so by leaving a comment down below or by sending me a Facebook and Twitter message. I'm gonna go play some Bloodborne. I've died about 1,000,000 times so far, but I am thoroughly addicted to it. I realize I have a problem, but I've accepted it at this point. But yeah, guys, until tomorrow, have a good one and take it easy.